So that's our top 5 games of the year as salvaged from the Christmas turkey. Are you sure there's nothing else in there?
No, that's me empty, boys.
Yeah, because I know what my favourite game of the year is, and I'm sure it must be in there, no? Come on, there must be one more.
No, I'm empty.
Yakuza 5, you must have Yakuza 5 in there. It's my favourite game of the year, it must be in there.
Yakuza 5, I've not heard it, boys.
Well, we'll just have to sort that out then, eh?
We'll start by saying there's a reason why we didn't make Yakuza 5 the #1 game of 2015.
I think this is the best game, the most fun I've played of any game this year at all is Yakuza 5. I've been waiting for it for so long and it's exceeded every single expectation. And it is unofficially the best soccer game of the year as well, but you felt uncomfortable because it's not actually from 2015, it's from 2012.
I love the game, I think it's brilliant. In many ways, everything you're saying I totally agree with. I just feel it's weird to say in the year of our Lord 2015, that the best game made is a game that was released in 2012.
Hey, let's not get too hung up on that. Let's just talk about what do we love about this game.
Every Yakuza game, from Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4, everyone has taken the foundation, the brilliant foundation, and improved upon it. There's never been, apart from Yakuza Dead Soul, there's never been a game in the series that has ever detracted or been like, oh, that one was better. It comes into personal preference a lot of time, but this one it just feels like everything that was great about Yakuza 4, they've tightened up and they've added so much into it, like the side stories that happen.
For those that haven't played Yakuza before, essentially it's just a sort of Japanese crime melodrama where you play as the hardest man in Japan and some of his pals, going about, getting into fights around these kind of open worlds that you can explore, and you can get caught up in lots and lots of mini games and side stories as well. It's a surreal slice of Japanese life in the same way that Grand Theft Auto sort of pastiches American life. The reason we keep coming back to it is because the characters are so good, and the fighting, the actual core of the game, the combat is so good and it's so funny as well.
This one definitely from the outset feels, the way it's telling the story feels really grown up.
Yeah, it's different, it's
like,
a lot more.
It's totally like, right at the beginning of the game, you don't know what's happening. It reminds me a lot of Japanese films. I think the story that it tells and the way it tells it does remind me of those big kind of Yakuza crime epics.
So let's talk about favourite bits, right? Favourite heat move. What's your favourite
heat move? Oh, so many. I mean, the bike.
Yeah, we ride the bike.
Riding the bike at an enemy is brilliant.
Scraping people's faces off the floor.
The move you can do when you hit someone in the top of the head with like a crate.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you get a crate, hit them on the head, and you keep tapping circle. And then after a while, it's like Kazuma just keeps hitting them. Like it goes on for like a good 40 seconds. It does. Unreal.
What about Saijima's one? You press the heat button when they bounce off the floor,
and you kind of jump up and grab them.
It's so horrible.
I just kept doing it over and over again.
Right, what was your favourite mini game then?
Well, we played Virtua Fighter 2 online.
Yeah, in Yakuza. You get all of Virtua Fighter 2 in
Which
Yakuza.
Is brilliant. But you can play Tycoon no Tatsujin. It's amazing.
I really like Haruka's dance battles.
There's so much to it. That's, I mean, like when you go Kazuma, like you can become the ramen king.
Do the ramen challenge.
You've got fishing. You've got. I mean, even outside
pulling carts.
Just being a taxi driver, like having to observe the rules of the road. It's, although there's lots of things there for people who've played Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4. I think if you're totally fresh to it, I think you'd still see so much to wonder about. It's down to the minutiae, like being able to go into the convenience store and you can read Attack on Titan.
You can read the first Japanese manga and all that.
Yeah, exactly. But
brilliant.
That's insane.
You could get lost inside stuff. Saijima's hunting missions.
Yeah.
It's a really slow-paced, methodical hunting game. You can't just go in like guns blazing. You have to actually sort of, track the deer, don't scare them off, aim up your shot, aim for the head very quietly, and set traps and all that, and you can't stay out too long, otherwise you lose health and all. There's so much to this game. Another thing I like about it is how the open world aspect of it feeds into your actual progress into the game. Like, if you plough through the main game, you won't end up unlocking a lot of the good moves. It's worth doing as much extra stuff as you can in this game. It's not just another box to tick. I'd say it's the best Yakuza game that's been
Yakuza
released.
5 I'd agree. I think it is probably the best so far. There was still a lot of talk, as we've talked about in our podcast before, about people being then anti the fact it's digital only.
Aye.
Personally speaking, of course I'd love it physically. I love the touch of a physical pen. But if that's your only option, take it. Because it's daft to not play a brilliant game because of that.
So I think we've sold you on it. Hopefully, it is my game of the year. It's close to being your game of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we're just going to leave it at that, and we'll leave you with the dulcet tones of Kazuma Kiryu, serenading the memories of a Shiba Inu.
Beautiful.
バカみたい